Alright, welcome to the tarot reading for October 31st through November 15th for Taurus. This is going to be especially exciting because this is the full moon reading for October 31st, Halloween, which is in the sign of Taurus. Hooray! So this should be an interesting reading for you guys. Could be heavy, because could be that a lot of things are coming up. So let's just dive into it here. What are the best and highest messages for Taurus? What is going on in their lives? What could they benefit from hearing? What's the best advice for Taurus right now for these 2 weeks of Halloween through November 15th? There is going to be a focus on taking care of yourself, like massage. I would recommend doing something like that. A haircut, pampering yourself. You know, Taurus, you are a steady, sometimes stubborn, but steady is a good quality to describe Taurus. And I feel like you have this patience about you. This card is talking about a patience with you, but it's also bringing up something else. There's also a timelessness aspect to you. So I don't know what this means. Does this mean like you're always wanted to pamper yourself and you're just getting to it? Or like, are you kind of used to this chill state of wanting to pamper yourself? Maybe you're feeling less out of that chill state, and or maybe you have been carrying a lot of things and you're ready to kind of like start doing things for yourself. Maybe you've been attached to other people. Because this is all about you right now and the good things that you're going to get from your life. But during these next couple weeks, it's like, I don't know if you've been building on something or what. Let's see. Anything else from this deck for Taurus before we move on? What is it here? Yeah, you've been through a lot and you've carried a lot of weight and you've gone on this long journey and you're like, F it, like it's my time and I deserve it. So whether you feel good about that or bad about that, it doesn't really matter, because you are feeling one way or another about it, but you definitely feel like it's your time, that you deserve something. Like, I've made it to the top of the mountain. Where is my gold? So whether you like, you know it's coming, or whether you're like it's not here and you're frustrated, doesn't really matter. It could be different for each different person. You want it's almost like you want someone to yearn for you, or you want someone to admire you, whether that's a lover or in a field of a position of job or family role. You want to be recognized for something. You feel like people have been reacting to you as if you've been silent this whole, like, all these years, and you're like, I haven't been silent. I've been asking for what I want and people just keep kind of trampling over me. And whatever that is, it's kind of like over and done with. You already have been putting in the foundation, emotionally speaking, and almost like you brush it off your shoulders automatically, or you had started to say, well, that doesn't mean it has to change my life and bother me. So whether or not it was immediately or over some time or leading up to now, this full moon, you have already put in the work and you've already planted that seed to be recognized as who you want to be recognized. Let me see it. It's the seed card. What else here? Something else here. I'm feeling like elements here, so yes, you are definitely going to be cultivating your possessions, and it's like, I don't know, maybe you used to feel like you had to like guard them and stuff, but you don't have to do that anymore. And or like there's some kind of like, I don't want to say final chapter, but it's like leading up to something, like you've really created an exquisite gem or collection of gems, possessions, and like you're kind of set either financially or in your home or with your possessions or how you've settled in. You feel pretty good about that. So that's like your grounded feelings. Like I feel like you feel good about what you can create. So that's good. That's a positive thing. Maybe you don't always realize that. Do you realize how good you are with money and things like that? Do you realize like the kind of nest egg, or can you realize it in more of a way? Can you be even more like self flattering with that? Like, I would invite you to take a look at your prosperity in many different ways and really celebrate that prosperity. Maybe even buy yourself a nice piece of jewelry or something that you like, something that really, if there's an item that you really love, I think you should splurge and get it. So, water, we have. Emotionally, though, this time period might be very difficult for you. You might be battling a lot of demons, or demons might be coming up, or reminiscing of those kinds of things that have gone on for you in your life might be coming up during this full moon, especially around the 31st. You might be distracted with Halloween, but it's a different year, 2020, so you might not be distracted with Halloween. So just be aware of that your emotions are going to be very turbulent and they're going to be focused more so on the dark shadow side than anything else. And you might feel, excuse me, you might feel a little lost. I just ate dinner. Pardon me. You might feel a little lost, but, or like, this is like the energy of depression and stuff like that, and not feeling good enough. Maybe you felt not good enough in a lot in your life, but you are, and like you have created so many wonderful things for yourself. So emotionally, this might be a turbulent time for you. Okay. So I want you to be careful with yourself, emotionally speaking, from 31st through November 15th. If you can, take 1 or 2 baths during that time period and really relax and try not to think too much about emotions or anything while you're taking that bath and just let things go. Take a salt bath. That would be really helpful for you as a Taurus because salt is an earth element and water is going to help you deal with and rebalance and get rid of things that emotionally are kind of weighing you down. Okay, so it might be a difficult time period for you in terms of either remembering or realizing or new things coming up about things that you are not happy about. Okay, that doesn't mean that good things aren't coming for you. So there might be in the forefront of your mind this sense of depression might come up or something might come up that's bothering you. Just expect that and know that that's coming up so that you can deal with it and release it. It's really only coming up because it's ready to be released anyway. I feel like it is kind of like old news, or it's like a memory of things like of not feeling well or years of depression or like some kind of traumatic event that you felt like torn away from, or like this can be losing someone to death or things like that. So if you felt really low about something, that might come up again. It might be have been on your mind already. Just know that that's going to be okay, all right? And it's going to heal itself. And you're going to heal that. And just don't try not to dwell on it. Take a bath, relax. You know, do something fun. Go splurge on yourself. Clear yourself, cleanse yourself, and it will pass soon. With emotions, we have I'm sorry, where am I at here? Fire, sorry. Fire. So, I feel like you either have had a block in creativity recently, or or you're coming out of a block of creativity from a long period of time. Like you felt like there's a dead end, like there's a literal card, the dead end, but it's reversed. And I feel like, and this is in a position of fire. I feel like I feel like this is more past though. In the past, whether it's recent or not, doesn't really matter. But I feel like you used to feel like there was a dead end, either in pursuit of a career or like painting, something like that. Whatever you're passionate about, like if you really love to do something for as a hobby and or career, could be one or the other or some kind of combination of the two. And maybe before you didn't feel really good about that. You felt like you didn't have the qualities to carry through with that. You didn't have the support or the clientele, or you didn't think people would like it, or you saw that the avenue seemed blocked to you for whatever way. There's resources or opportunity seemed like it just wasn't going to be the right time, or you've been trying but you've been blocked from it. I feel like that's going to come to an end. Let's see. You have grown a lot of wisdom through that, and you know what you want. So maybe it was a good thing that you were blocked from going down that path, and now you have enough wisdom to know whether that path is good for you and how to go about it. So I would suggest that you go down whatever path you now feel like going down And remember how much wisdom you have and what you're carrying with you. And remember, as a Taurus, you carry a lot of stuff. And that's kind of built into the energy of Taurus, especially with this full moon in Taurus. So I don't want you to focus too heavily, or I don't want you to bog yourself down with how much you carry. However, it wouldn't hurt to analyze a little bit what could be let go, what kind of dead weight can I leave behind. But at the same time, don't forget how much wisdom you have, okay? Because I feel like you don't see it. But you learned a lot from your experiences and maybe things that have kept you from doing what you want to do, whether that's yourself or other people or situations, opportunities, or circumstances, rather. But I feel like it feels like to me the ball is in your court. Let's see what the air says. Interesting. Is your mind on love, or have you recently gone through a breakup? Something like this. Or your mind is on a person, or you've either lost a relationship, because we have the kiss here and it's upside down. So this to me suggests that you have your mind on someone more than likely, or maybe you're afraid that they do not desire you. Or maybe there was an action, or maybe some kind of behavior has in the recent past has made you think like you're not wanted by your current partner or the person that you're interested in, or maybe you're interested in someone new, or maybe you've recently gone through a heartbreak or even breakup potentially. Let's kind of look into that. You are the creator of your own reality and experience. So no matter what's happened or how you're thinking and what's going on in your mind in terms of love and flame and passion with another person, or even possibly people, but for you it's probably just one person, um, you get to decide like who you get to be with. Don't settle for anything less. Taurus, you're such a heavier earth sign that like I could easily see you being stuck in a place that you don't really want to be for a long time. And you deserve better than that. So whether you're stuck in a place where you felt like, or whether you're mourning a relationship, or whether you're dreaming of someone who you believe is out of your league, or that you don't think is interested in you, or that you don't think even notices you, you get to choose how you see all that. And you get to choose. Here's my advice for you. You get to choose your path, but for my advice for you, why don't you think about the things that you like in a relationship, or that you like in your current relationship if it's something you're trying to mend or grow. Think about the things you like in a partner or your partner. Um, what is it that you really like to do? And try to think of the successes that you've had in your relationships in the past, because I know that you've had them. And now is a good time period over the next few weeks to be thinking about where have I been in my relationships, and specifically what decisions have I made in building relationships, like choosing my relationships, romantically speaking, more so than others. But this can also be like roommate, like financial, business, career, but it's more so like passion, um, romance. So you get to decide. Think about also like that's what I wanted to say. You're talking like think about the decisions that you've made in your relationships. Think about like how you've handled things in your relationships. Think about the good advice that you've given to the people in your relationships over the years. Like how much does that up to? Because I feel like it's a lot that you can't even count, and it would like break the scale. Very Taurian energy there. So I think you should really realize that. Have you taken the time to really think about that? Because I feel like you haven't, and I think it could be really beneficial for you. And again, like try to pursue a passion. If it's that old passion you felt blocked to before and you're feeling a new passion, then go towards that new passion. If it's not painting, if it's drawing or music or dance or movies or like Netflix, film, or like creating documentaries or any kind of thing, YouTube, anything. I feel like if you try to logically go in your mind and choose what would be best for you in terms of a creative outlet, because I think you know what's best for you. I wouldn't always give this kind of advice to people. I would suggest more like do what you feel, but I think you are kind of like in your head about this, and I think it would help you get out of your head or utilize your head a lot better if you were like painting it out or writing it out or dancing it out or crafting, sewing, knitting, something kind of calm and easy for you. Something that you don't really have to be too active about, that you can sit with as a Taurus and grow with, because that's the ultimate goal. And it might not be the same thing as what you used to have passion about and felt blocked to. It might be a new direction, okay? So it doesn't have to be something that's set in stone or any kind of certain thing that you think that you should be doing, or you can revive that passion if it's been dead for a long time and you're like, F that. I do deserve to do that. I am worthy. I can make paintings. I can do whatever it is. Like, who cares? Or if someone critiqued you, or if you critiqued yourself and you felt bad about yourself, now's the time to reawaken a long dead vision or something that you felt has been blocked to you, or a new path, one of those, or both. Whatever you feel drawn to, but you know how to make that decision. And I would caution you and advise you that I want to tell you, you know how to make that choice. So I think it's okay to be in your head a little bit about the creative choices. Just make sure you're using those creative choices to kind of not stay stuck in your head. Does that make sense? So let's take a look here before we end. These are all reversed, so let's see what I get the feeling from here. Yeah, letting go. So maybe analyze some weight that you've been carrying for a long time that honestly you're probably not even carrying anymore. You just notice that it's still there. So it's kind of just like sticking around. I feel like it's not even really on your mind, but take a good look around your mind and try to think about like what could be let go of. Because, and I feel like it's not very much either. But once you do let go of things that really have nothing to do with you, you're really gonna like bounce and be free. It's really, I wouldn't say whatever this is really holding you back, but once you do let go of it, you're just gonna find that you feel like a huge weight has been lifted, even if it might be a small thing. Does that make sense? And even if you lift things off of your load, you might even find that you can carry more weight after that. And you can still carry what it is that you normally carry as a Taurus, like all the things that you like, all the things that you like to stick with and stay with and collect. Like you can still carry that forward as long as it's serving you and you want to carry it forward. So maybe take these next few weeks to think about what kind of emotional baggage do I want to keep carrying. And when I say emotional baggage, like what is bothering me? Is there anything bothering me that I could let go of? Possibly. And maybe do that in those bath times, especially with salt, because it's a very good way to cleanse and release. Excuse me. You're going to be finding your passion soon, and I think like probably through creativity. Yeah, so definitely get into something new, whether it's cooking or if you already have, keep doing that. Do what feels fun to you. You're already kind of tapping into that. That's going to help with the negative emotions that you might be feeling already, and especially coming up with the full moon. So that can kind of help counteract in a very emotional way. You can dwell on emotions, yet not get drowned by them. And if you use it in a creative way, study something creatively. Be flexible. I know it's a little difficult or not common for Taurus to be super flexible all the time. But think about flexibility and creativity. And what I mean by that is like multiple avenues of expression. Being easy on yourself. Like if you could have the choice to let go of all these preconceived notions about yourself and judgments about yourself and your abilities of what you can create. If you were dreaming and you had like, if you were in dreamland and you were asleep and you were aware that you were dreaming and you knew that like no one was there and could judge you and you could create anything, what would that be? And what would that look like? So be very fluid with yourself and try new things, I think is the message there. And don't be so afraid to go towards the direction of expressing your feelings in a new way or a creative way, or maybe an old way that you've not done in a while. Like maybe you used to write, maybe even 10 plus years ago. Go back to that. Try something a little bit, try on a different costume, and that's all it has to be. You know, we'll try on a new little outfit. Do I like this in the mirror? I don't have to go out in it if I don't like it. That kind of vibe. And we're going to end on Knight of Crystals here. Okay, hold on. You know it, you've got everything you need and you have all the resources available. We have a camel here, Knight of Crystals, the earth sign here of the deck. You are a person who knows how to carry water across long distances like a desert. In very dry, most extreme conditions, you know how to be resourceful, okay? So don't forget that. That is you. And I'd say that if you're ever depressed or things are bothering you and coming up and really upsetting and traumatizing, remember like how much you've endured and what you've survived, and how you can be resourceful not only for yourself but for all the people you love, and not just recently, but like, please take a look at your whole life, because I feel like you will see like an unending amount of like, holy crap, like I really have done a lot for a lot of people, and I really do know what I'm doing, and I really do know how to collect the right tools for myself, and I really do know how to trust my own guidance and select the best option for me and route to take. Um, also feel like there's a messenger, like either someone, Earth, another Earth sign is going to be bringing some kind of message to you, like a job opportunity, or I want to give you a studio space you can do your artwork, or I want to give you an opportunity to sell something, something along those lines. So be open to some kind of communication, or person more likely with communication, or it could be an email or some kind of offer, or maybe you're going to get accepted into a university program or something like that, trade school, or some kind of thing that you want to study. Go for it. And there's something else here too. There's something that I really want you to hear. Okay, Taurus, so listen up. You are also the messenger of security. Like, you bring people such calm and sense of security and sense of belonging in the world, and I don't want you to forget that, and I want you to know that you are the messenger of hope for people in the sense of staying stable and grounded in the craziest of times that the earth has seen. Okay, so really look at yourself in this new way, almost like a hero, like a knight in shining armor who is brave and who arrives on the scene and inspires hope in people, reminds people that they are brave too, and that they can last through the hard times more easily than they know. And you help remind people of this. And I feel like this is something you don't really see in yourself, or you don't view positively. Could be something you're aware of, that you know that you help people a lot and that you feel negatively about it because you feel like you might not get that in return. But the gift, my friend, is you. You are the gift. And if you take a moment to stop beating up on yourself, if that's something you're doing, you might find that you are the gift. And if they don't deserve you, move on from them. You don't have to cling to everything you know. You know, if they're not willing to commit to your friendship or your advice and what you give them, time to move on in the next few weeks. Think about in what ways your life would be better if you let go of some people or maybe backed away a little bit. Think about things that aren't giving life back to you, that you might be putting a lot of life into, because you are a life-giving resource, and that is amazing, and you are amazing, and don't ever sell yourself short. You have you have nothing but victory coming your way. Nothing but victory. Stay flexible, adaptive, but things are going to work out in your favor. There's going to be clarity, maybe some kind of, I feel like, more along the lines of within the next few weeks, so probably not yet, but you might get some clarity about some things you've been bothered about. But things ultimately are very, very, very good for you, and you're headed in a very, very good direction, emotionally speaking. So I think through these 2 weeks, you might be feeling a lot of hardship emotionally and heaviness, but it's going to like work itself out. And at the end of the tunnel of this time period, closer to November 15th, more than likely, or a little bit after that, you're going to be feeling like either a sense of emotional completion, or you'll be able to see that that's exactly where you're heading. So you have everything coming to you, and you probably already have a lot of it now, and maybe you just don't feel good about it, or maybe you don't feel good about yourself. That's kind of what I feel like. You're really hard on yourself. Yeah, you're really hard on yourself, but why? Because you have so many qualities. You can start something, you can inspire people to do things that they never thought possible, first of all. And I see that you are really insecure about yourself, but I don't understand why, because let me tell you why you don't need to be insecure about yourself. You have worked your whole life so hard, whether that's in a career or in your life itself. Taurians are people who work really hard, and they know how to plow the earth, whether that's literally or figuratively. And I think that you don't see your skills as much as you need to, with the things that you've gathered along the way, the things that you've learned, the things that you've built for yourself. Really take these next few weeks. I really implore you to do that, especially in bath time or if you're laying down, when you don't have a lot on your mind, when you can really focus on it. Think about all the skills that you've attained. What are all the assets and skills that you've learned, whether in a job or in life? Like, how many relationships have you helped? For example, how many people at work have you made helped feel better, or have you given them a ride home, or have you lent them money? Think about all these things that you've learned through your hardships because you don't see them. And it's like your most beautiful attribute. And there's so many, they're like almost uncountable, the amount of skills that you have that are beautiful and are blessings to the world. And once you see that within yourself, I think you really will see that you have all those blessings already. But then that's going to be leading you, that realization will lead you to um, the 10 of shells that just came up, the unending flow of abundance, especially emotional abundance. But I think you'll be finding that through the next 2 to 4 weeks, through the end of November, probably towards the end of November, that once you look at yourself differently and feel a lot better about what you can do, maybe you feel negatively about your skill set. Maybe you're very aware of what you can do, but you feel like it doesn't matter, like people don't acknowledge it or respect it or care, or they don't see it, or maybe you feel bad, like because you're like it's useless, like it's not going to be useful for anything in the future. Stop being negative on yourself because you have learned so much and like probably been through some of the most shit that anybody has been through, and that's probably going to be coming up for you during this full moon. So be very easy on yourself and know that it's heading towards a place of emotional fulfillment, and you'll get to this place where once you see yourself in this more loving light and the things that you've done and accomplished in a loving light, you'll find that that's going to turn your life around really quickly. And it's either going to show you that you already have all the abundance you need, but and or more likely it's going to bring much more treasures and pleasurable experiences for you to enjoy in kind of a whole new way. Like you thought you were connected to the earth before, but you're also like been very guarded and protecting of your treasures. But this process is going to lead you to, at the outcome, feeling less vulnerable and less like guarded, and you might find that you either want to share your wealth with others or share your wealth of your personality, your friendship with others, because things are gonna change for you in about 3 to 4 weeks, about 3 weeks. So around the November 15th, keep at it and try to be as gentle with yourself as you can. Seriously, take a salt bath. It only takes like 10 minutes. It's so comfortable. It's so relaxing on your muscles and your body. And if you put salt in there, all it takes is like half a cup or less. I like to use kosher salt. It kind of just depends on you. Pink Himalayan salt is also something I prefer. So that can be really helpful for you. Okay, draw out all that stuff you don't need and be gentle with yourself. But only do that once or twice. You don't want to overbathe, oversaturate. There's going to be a lot of stuff you're going through, or remembering, or coming back up. And just know that you're going to be okay. You always get through it anyway. And you don't have to take all that shit with you if you don't want to. Okay? Thanks for joining me, and have a great full moon.